what we want to do with this program is to bring awareness to the public to say that there's no shame in having a child with a disability.
Half of our children, which number now 103, have cerebral palsy. It's the most common of all the conditions that we look after.
Nipula kumanga nyumba, mangia bamai banga.
Welcome to children with a disability. The aim of this program is to educate the audience on a disability. Dear viewer, you who have that self-unanswered question on what disability is, well, this is the right place for you. My name is Macy, and with me, I'm joined by two beautiful people. I'll allow them to introduce themselves. On my immediate right is Sister. Sister, welcome.
Sister Kay O'Neill. I'm a Franciscan missionary of the Divine Motherhood, and I'm presently the mission director at Little Assisi Daycare and Special School in Ingombe.
Okay, sir, welcome to the program, and kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Elias Zulu. I'm the physiotherapist based at Little Assisi Special School in Ingombe. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Little Assisi Special School in Lumen. What's the school all about?
The school is for children with disabilities, intellectual and physical. About half of our children, which number now 103, have cerebral palsy. It's the most common of all the conditions that we look after. There are some with autism, there are some with Down syndrome, there are some with hearing impaired and sight impairment, some suffer from epilepsy and are slow learners, and some others are just, they were born with some disability because of a birth injury, or they acquired it maybe because they had meningitis. So that's the makeup of our children there.
Oh, okay. So the school is just about different abled children?
Yes.
Oh, okay. When did the school start?
It started very small, 20 years ago. In 2003, we had 5 children, and at that time they were just using a room in the Zoc school here in Ingombe in the afternoons, and then the numbers started to increase. So the sister who started it, Sister Helen Scuddy, she went to look for a property, and then she found this place where we are now. And the numbers increased all the time. There were 15, 25, then now we're up to 103. So we've outgrown this property, and we are building a new school just about a kilometre from here.
Yeah, from 2005 to now is really a very long time. How do you know these different abled children? You look for them, or you have people who identify them for you? How can one, in case I know someone who is different abled and they don't have a school place?
At first, we had some contacts in the compound, and they knew that there were children in some homes. So with the help of some volunteers, we went to visit the homes and encouraged the parents to allow their children to come to school. And now that we are known, the parents bring them without us looking for them. But we do awareness campaigns every now and then, just to make sure that there's nobody still hiding in homes. Because unfortunately there's still a stigma attached to a child being born which is not perfect.
You're really doing a good job. So this program is called Children with a Disability. What is the program about?
Well, like Sister said, we are coming from a background where children were being hidden in homes because of a disability. And now what we want to do with this program is to bring awareness to the public to say that there's no shame in having a child with a disability. Actually, they can be helped. We need to expose them, bring them out, so that people understand what disability is. And we also want to use this program to dispel some misconceptions and myths about disability. So that this is why we have started this journey with you, so that we are able to bring people on board, so that they can have a full understanding of what disability is and how it comes about.
Okay, since you've said so that people can have a full understanding of what disability is, maybe kindly define disability for us.
So, well, disability is any physical, intellectual, developmental, or cognitive limitation that may make it difficult for one to interact freely, to learn and develop to their full potential. So it encompasses several aspects of one's life.
So we have different types of disabilities?
Yes, we do.
You said namely?
Cognitive, maybe intellectual, and in many cases, like she said, it could be physical. Someone it could be okay, they can sit in class and learn, but maybe they have problems, challenges with movement, especially with the children with cerebral palsy. And then within that, there are several classifications. The others are severe, others are moderate, and others are profound, so that we are able to, others can actually sit in class and learn, others we just see them for physiotherapy, so that they also come to socialize with the others.
And physio is your area?
Yes, physio is my area, sure.
Sister, do you want to add anything?
Yes. It's a little bit of a problem. We can't put a group of children in class and think they're all the same. The problem is that they're all different. And like Mr. Zulu said, some are severe, some are mildly affected, and others are quite well, and maybe it's just a physical disability and they're intellectually good. So it's a big challenge for the teaching, how to plan a class for everybody. You can't. So one of the challenges is that we need a lot of staff, and we have to have small groups so that they do one-on-one, or one with maybe 3 children, but never one with more than 5 children. They cannot manage more than 5 children and 1 teacher. So we need a lot of staff, and then the staff have to be trained for special needs. And some of them have done diploma at Zamise, and one has done a degree. But even with that training, we are still learning, because autism, particularly each child, I think there's about 40 different kinds of autism. And how can you learn everything about autism? It's very difficult. So you just have to get to know the children and see where they're at, and then tune in on where you can help them.
So how do you categorize the children at Little Assisi? Do you put these ones with intellectual disability differently, this one with this, or you all put them in one class and you start identifying them as they move to?
Yes, I think as we start, we just group them together, because like she said, under normal circumstances, a teacher only is supposed to look after maybe 5. Yes, because they have got different needs.
Yes.
So each child has got separate needs. So you need a one-on-one kind of interaction with the child.
Total attention.
Yes. So it's very difficult, like she said, because it's not like the traditional way of sitting in class with a board. Everyone looks at the teacher there teaching. So each child, as you assess, this is the area. Is it just to learn to color? Is it to identify numbers? Is it to identify letters? Or even objects? So that's the way it is. So we have a level 1 class, that's where they start. Then as they develop, you are able to tell now where they can go. But for autism, we have just a separate class for them, because they are quite different from the others. Yes.
Okay. So you have level 1 class where they start from. Then they go to level 2. You don't have grades like grade 1.
No, there's no grade.
There's just levels. From level 1, then you end up.
They go to level 2.
Then from level 2.
There's also a skills class. But within that, because like she said, we don't have much space. So we have other children that we take to other schools. Those that we see now that they have a potential to excel in an inclusive environment. So we take them to Choma, for example, there's St. Mulumba school for children with disabilities.
Is it a sister school to Assisi?
The school at St. Mulumba's in Choma, where we take our children, is run by the Sacred Heart of Mary Sisters.
So some go that side. Some will remain. Those that we see that cannot fit into the other classes elsewhere, we keep them at our place. They can also go to a skills class. We also have some skills that we teach them, like the doormat making, beads banking, and all that.
So where do they go when they're done with the skills class? We offer them employment?
No, not exactly employment, but we do make a graduation plan for them. So like what can they do after this? Maybe others, because we don't want to leave the family out of this child's life, because others start small businesses. Yes, so they will work with the child. If it's a mother selling tomatoes, whatever they could be doing, whatever small business, then we want them to carry along with the child. Or if there's others that can manage, actually go with the doormat making or the beads making, so that they're able to find a livelihood.
We have one who her sister has a hair salon, so she helps in the hair salon. And one of the boys, his brother, has a business with bringing sand to people. So the brother helps him out with loading the sand. But one who was a bit of an exception, she came to us at the age of 7, and we saw that she's got cerebral palsy. We saw she had potential. So she went to St. Manumba's in Choma for about grade 5. And then she did her grade 7. She advanced into secondary school, and she did well in her grade 12. So she got a place at Zamise for teacher training. And because she's got hearing impairment, she specialized in sign language. So she's on our staff now.
Wow.
Yeah. So
but she's a bit of an exception. They don't all manage to get that far.
Yeah. So you see, that's how we identify them and see who can excel to what extent. Yeah, so like she's saying, one of our staff is actually studied from there.
We need to meet.
Oh, I'm sure in one of the programs she'll appear, and she can tell the story. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We look forward to meeting her. So is the school free, or is pay a certain token?
Well, it's pretty much subsidized. So they only pay a small amount per term. Yeah. So we also, on top of that, we provide breakfast for them and lunch, because they only go up to 12, then they go home. But then the afternoons is when we have the skills class.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Interesting. So what are the common misconceptions about disability, and why do they persist?
Well, from our interaction, I think as a community and even as a school, we see that we see persons with disabilities as people who cannot amount to anything. It's like you just stereotype them and it's just said, oh, these are disabled. These are the people that always need help. Mm. Even when they greet you, you think they're asking for money from you. So that's one of the misconceptions. And pretty much the barriers are within the community, not in the person with themselves with a disability. So much as if we provide an environment for them conducive to learn, to excel, I think they can do a lot actually.
But I know someone in Ngombe who is different airport. Whenever you're passing and he asks you for something, if you don't give them, they'll either slap you or stone you. So every time they are passing, you have to make sure you avoid their way. So maybe that's why people are a bit scared of them, that maybe if they are talking to me, they want to ask for something or they're going to attack me. There are others who are friendly, but there's one particular person that I know. They once asked me for a tukwacha and I told them I don't have, and they slapped me.
Well, that's
but I didn't know they were not.
Oh, they're not.
Someone told me, no, I'm a Menya, so I said, oh, okay.
Okay.
Now I.
It's very unfortunate that some of these children have been exploited, and some boys will take them to the compound and get them to do begging. So even this morning, when I was coming at Manda Hill, there was one of the children who I know is from Ngombe as well. He's Moses, and he's very small in a wheelchair, and it was raining, and he's there every day just for begging. And he's about 20 years old now, and you can have a conversation with him, but every day his relatives bring him there just to beg, because he looks he looks disabled, and he is disabled physically, but in fact he's quite sensible. He knows. But it's very sad.
It's very sad.
And other children, they have been taken like to Mutenderi. They're left there all day to beg. The boys come back in the evening, they collect him, they take all the takings, and he goes home with nothing. So maybe that's why sometimes they can be upset.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's unfortunately, if for example, I have a relative who is different airport, it's very sad and I think inhuman of me to use that person to beg him for me, then at the end of the day, I get whatever they make. I'm actually the person who is supposed to be helping that person.
Yes, that's the normal way. But like she said, that's what happens. A lot of families are taking advantage of this disability and go and parade these children, or even adults for that matter, to beg and support the families, which is not supposed to be the case. So if you see potential in them, that the good thing is to make sure that they exploit the potential. If they have to go to school, let them go to school. Let them be in school. Let them learn their skill and actually earn a dignified living, rather than just let them be beggars and all that. Yes.
Yeah, that's really sad. So in a case, just like Sister has said, where the family is using someone like to the different airports to beg, do you approach them or do you just leave them because, I mean, it's family that is doing that to them?
Well, I think that's the essence of having such programs, to educate the public, to say they should never take advantage of the misfortunes of someone. Yes? So we may not have the mandate to speak to them per se, because actually we may not even know where this is happening. But where an opportunity arises, we could just engage them, talk to them, especially if they are of school-going age. We encourage them to say, no, bring them to school. Come to Little Assist, see what we are doing. If you think it makes sense, then we can enroll your child. And the other thing we didn't mention is that the enrollment starts at 5 years, yes, for level 1. Then they grow just like that within.
Oh, okay. How do culture or social attitude influence how disability is perceived?
Well, what we've just answered is part of the same question, because people with disabilities actually are seen as people who cannot amount to anything else. You just judge and say, okay, these people will always require to be helped. Yes? And also the other thing is that when we see a person with disability, we associate with the case maybe there's something that the family did or the parents did that now God is punishing them. Others this is a reality, because some of our children are being called names in the compounds. Others literally called mad people. Sometimes even our school is called school for the mad children. Yeah, which is really not the case, because every child, yes, they may not look the way you expect them to look, but if you get closer to them, you understand that they have a challenge. And this is why we exist, so that we educate the people. We try to bring the children on board and actually instill something in them so that they can be useful people in society.
Okay, interesting. Sister, you'd like to add anything?
Yeah, it's really education and awareness campaigns, and like what you're doing is what is needed to help people to understand. But it's very sad that, like, if it was your child and they were being exploited or being made fun of, how you would feel. The majority of our parents would be loving and caring, but some maybe they get tired because it's 24-hour care for some children. So we have to try and support them as best we can and encourage them. And they need breaks. That's why we provide this facility at Little Assisi, to give the mothers a break in the morning for a few hours, and then maybe they'll be more loving and caring when they go back. But to have them 24 hours and full-time care is hard.
It is.
Okay, so what role does language play in shaping our understanding on disability?
Yes, I think language cannot be excluded from the issues of disability. And because where we're coming from, there are certain terms that have been dropped because they were considered to be derogatory in as far as the disability is concerned. That's why nowadays you don't hear any more people talking about deaf and dumb, maybe a handicap. Yeah. So we want to use terms that are going to bring dignity to the persons with such disability. So there's speech and hearing impairment, sight or visual impairment for the blind. Yes. Yeah. So those other terms are dropping, so that we are able to use terminologies that are not going to sound derogatory to the people that have disabilities. So language is critical. Like we gave the example of children being called mad. That's not the thing, because you have no instrument in the streets to measure madness or something. Because even the same people that have got mental illness, I think it's really sad to call them mad, and then people will throw stones at them. But we need to come to a place where we can understand them, understand the challenge, and see how best we can help them.
Well, all children have a name. So instead of calling them the blind or the Down syndrome or the autistic child, they have a name. So we must value that and see the person behind the disability. And all of them have some good, and they bring us together. In my country of Ireland, they're called Dini Ledir, people with God, because it's thought that, they're innocent and they can't do any wrong. No, maybe sometimes they can.
Yeah.
But to give them the dignity and the personal love and care, the good will come out. I mean, some of them are very loving.
Exactly. So under a minute, as we are concluding, how can we move from a charity-based approach to a rights-based approach on disability? Under a minute.
Yeah, so on the charity base, this is where now it only you expect people with disabilities only to receive, to be on the receiving end. But with a rights-based, we have to make sure that these people...
They also contribute?
Sorry?
They also contribute?
They also contribute, yes. They also participate. There's also accountability with the service providers and all that. There's also issues of equality, empowerment, and the legality, so that they also respected. If there are cases that have to be... Because there are issues of abuse also. But then just because someone has a disability, don't sweep that under the carpet. It should also be brought the same way that you can be brought before the law. Even a normal person should be. Same should happen to them.
Okay, as we conclude, Sister, your last word.
Well, there's a lot of costs involved, and this can cause tension in the community and the family, because you might want to take your child for treatment at UTH. But because of the disability, maybe they've got a wheelchair, you have to get a taxi. So they need financial help. And the cash transfer that is being given for children with disabilities or people with disabilities is very useful. Of course, it's never enough. And it takes time sometimes. I think it goes 2 to 3 months before they get the next payment. But they need... understanding that, if a child is seen there with a wheelchair, maybe people can help to get into a bus or to get a taxi, and not to charge them so much, because what can they do? They can't walk. The mother can't carry the child so far. So it's just a bit of charity and a bit of love and care.
Thank you so much, Sister, and thank you so much for sparing your time to educate me and our dear viewers on disability.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, our dear viewer, this is all we had for you. This has been Children with a Disability. Until next time, it's bye-bye.